Well, now there's a role reversal due to the fact that we got a report earlier today from an anonymous person. We assume it's Timothy, but we have no idea. But an anonymous person contacted the Gaming Weekly stating that they have abducted a killer clown. I repeat, they have abducted a killer clown. So it looks like humans are now beginning to rise up to try to take stand against these killer clowns. Things are now getting quite interesting in the war against the killer clowns, getting set for the purge that is happening just a few weeks away, October 31st. Which is actually next week. Nonetheless, though, we cannot wait for this exclusive interview we had with an anonymous source who claims they've abducted a killer clown. So again, ladies and gentlemen, an anonymous source, an anonymous user decided to DM us in this Instagram-like DM, and it was quite fascinating to know that somebody out there is actually staying anonymous so they can avoid their identity. But nonetheless, an anonymous user decided to contact us stating that they actually had something to share. They actually started the conversation to this Instagram-like DM saying, quote, "Hey, look, I have some news you want to share." And we replied back saying, "What may that be?" He then replied back saying, "Me and my friends went hunting last night and we got a clown. We abducted a clown. This is crazy, and let me tell you, we are proud of ourselves. Look, we are not playing around here. We are not playing. When I say we were going to go attack these clowns, we're going to attack them. I want all of these clowns to realize how they are stupid and have no organization." We shockingly replied back saying, "That's quite shocking, honestly. Now, I have many questions to ask, if I may." He replied back saying, "Sure." So we kicked off the interview by asking the first question, saying, quote, "So how did you guys abduct this clown?" He replied back by saying, "So me and my group were walking around in the streets at night. Nothing happened at first, and we honestly were just hanging out. Until all of a sudden we see a clown wandering in a park. We approached him and asked him, what was he doing out there? All he did was look at us and laugh crazily. So we knew it was a killer clown, so we all surrounded him and grabbed him and stuffed him in the back of my car. We went home and we slapped him over and over, wanting him to give us answers. He didn't even answer any, but just kept laughing." We asked him the question, "What types of questions were you asking?" He replied back by saying, "We were asking where the leader Booba the Clown was. We were also asking what other plans they had, but he wouldn't respond. So we just tied him up down in the basement, and he won't be going out of there anytime soon." So yes, it goes to show that these killer clowns are cowards and don't want to respond to anything. Instead of being like men and responding, these clowns are scared to even talk. Pretty sad. We then asked the question, "Did you guys find anything? Was the clown armed?" He surprisingly said, "That's a good question because we found two things. The first thing we found was a small pocket knife in his pocket. So we took it and took it right in front of him. In the other pocket he had a note that said, quote, 'Never back down. Remember our mission to make everyone pay for what they did to us. Remember who you are. Remember why you are doing this. Remember what this is all about. Always remember that.'" And that's what the note said. We honestly don't know who wrote it, probably from Boo Boo, but we don't know. We asked them this question, "Are you guys prepared for the response you may potentially receive from these killer clowns?" He replied back defiantly, "Look, we wouldn't be doing this if we weren't prepared. We knew going into this that we would have major targets on our backs, but we aren't afraid. We are more than prepared. Taking down one clown was a breeze. We did it without breaking a sweat. So we are prepared for multiple, and we are armed too. We know karate first off, and we also have all the weapons just in case. So yes, we are prepared for these crazy clowns. We aren't scared of these guys anymore, and we aren't ever gonna be afraid." We then asked the question, "What are you expecting on October 31st? The killer clowns are vowing to deliver a purge. Your response?" He then said, "Look, there won't be a purge. At the very least, there will be a war around the world that has us humans against the killer clowns. But these killer clowns are thinking that the purge will have them all just taking over the world and stuff. Ain't gonna happen, I promise you that. There won't be any takeovers, and I promise you that they won't win this. We are heavily armed, too, and there's more of us than them. Do you really think they can actually win this? We asked the question, are you expecting this battle between you humans and the clowns to be brutal? He then said, you want an honest answer? Because I would love to say it's going to be the easiest thing in the world. But if I'm going to be honest, I'm pretty sure these clowns are going to be a tough battle. Yeah, they are cowards at the end of the day, but at the same time, these clowns have their weapons and all of that junk. So it will take effort to try to take them all down. But still, I promise you, we will win no matter what. We will beat them and we will manhandle them so hard. So trust me when we do this. We will be standing tall. We asked him the question again, what are some of the things you're afraid of? He said, we can't show any fear because if we do, then guess what? These killer clowns are going to take over easily. We got to stay strong. So I'm not afraid, not me or my friends. But I am a bit worried. I'm a bit worried with how fast these killer clowns move. They can move country to country faster than ever before. It's because they are getting more and more people every time. So of course it's going to be easy for them to spread. That is what worries me. And for the final time to end the interview, we asked them the question, what is your message to the killer clowns who may be reading the interview? He replied back defiantly again for the final time. I want all of them to know that humans are not weak. I want them to know that we aren't going to be sitting here and just let these clowns do whatever they want. No, it doesn't work that way. What we want them to understand is that we have a plan that can beat them within minutes. Now this is for the leader, Boo Boo. Boo Boo isn't a leader. No, he's a coward. And I'm not going to pretend that he is weak, because it seems like he is strong. But I want him to know that we are stronger and we aren't afraid of him. Seriously, he is awful at his job, and we are going to own him. On the 31st, we're going to make sure we destroy them. My best advice would be for them to turn around, for them to give it up now. Because if they don't stop, it's going to be bad for them. And that was the end of the interview, ladies and gentlemen. And man, there's a lot to break down here. First thing is first, I'm quite actually proud of these guys who are really trying to fight for society, trying to make sure they minimize the harm and trying to get all the clowns as they can. But again, it looks like this anonymous source did admit that these killer clowns are going to be strong, that they're actually going to be armed, they're going to be tough. This is going to be a tough battle if this is going to be happening on the 31st. If there's going to be a battle between humans and clowns, it will indeed be tough. Now, despite the fact that these humans, quote-unquote humans, decided to abduct this killer clown without breaking a sweat, what concerns me now is that they now have entered on the radar of the killer clowns. Perhaps the killer clowns are going to be targeting these young men. Perhaps these killer clowns are going to be planning to try to make sure they abduct all of them here. So that's what concerns me. So hopefully these guys know exactly what they're doing. But nonetheless, my hat's off to these guys who are, again, trying to do all they can to make sure they actually protect communities out there. Try to do all they can to try to actually make sure we are saved here. And again, trying to minimize the purge that is expected to happen just a week from now, the 31st of August. It is getting crazier than ever before, ladies and gentlemen. It really is getting crazy. It is getting intense. It is breaking down. And I gotta tell you, I have a huge feeling, a strong feeling, that these killer clowns are gonna fail, that they're gonna fall, because they seem confident. Yeah, sure, they've been talking a lot of stuff as of late over the past couple of weeks. But when push comes to shove, and when all these clowns are prone, you know what they're going to be doing? They're going to back off, and they're perhaps going to return for next year. But it doesn't work like that, because these killer clowns continue to lose focus. They lose focus and momentum, and they lose the pace. These killer clowns are not going to do anything on the 31st. Mark it down, ladies and gentlemen. I have great faith in people like these guys, the anonymous source and Timothy from just a couple of weeks, or just a couple of days ago. And perhaps there's other people out there that we don't even know of that are willing to battle against the killer clowns. Nonetheless, though, folks, it looks like it was a score for us. An abducted killer clown That killer clown did not respond to any questions, but at the very least, he is now out of the streets. He is inside a basement as we speak. He is not going to be scaring anybody out there. He's not going to be harming anybody out there in the streets. So that's the plus side. The negative side is perhaps the killer clowns are going to respond heavily to this. Like, comment, and subscribe. We have more videos coming soon concerning the killer clown, and we will be updating all of you on October 31st. Will there be a killer clown purge? That's the question we're all wondering. We'll find out. Thanks for joining us, everybody.